Welcome to the Resistance.
Hey Xers, and welcome back to Gen X Resistance. I am your host, Paul Stevens, your friendly neighborhood Xer, armed with just enough caffeine to carry us through this mess that passes for reality these days. Now, today's episode is about The Matrix. No, not the movie, not the Keanu Reeves leather trench coat cosplay you can find at every Comic-Con. No, I'm talking about the real one, the metaphor. Because here's a truth that not many people like to talk about. We're already living in it. Except instead of the machines farming us for battery juice, it's government bureaucrats, media conglomerates, and Silicon Valley overlords farming us for compliance, obedience, and yes, our data. And if you think I'm exaggerating, let's roll back to what we already know. Google, YouTube's daddy, admitted that they suppressed conservative contents at the request of the federal government. And that's not a conspiracy theory. That's not your crazy uncle on Facebook. That's testimony. That's receipts. Which means that the machines aren't theoretical anymore. They're here. And the Matrix isn't code. It's your feed on your glowing rectangle in your pocket. And no matter what side of the political spectrum you align yourself with, that should bother you. In the movie, humanity is trapped in this simulation that is so convincing that you don't even question it. They wake up, they go to work, they watch the news, they pay their taxes, all while their real bodies are plugged into pods, drained for energy. Does that sound familiar? Legacy media and platforms like YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, X, they are the simulation. They decide what's real, what's trending, what's credible. And just like the Matrix, the goal isn't to inform you, it's to keep you compliant. The government doesn't even have to censor you directly anymore, they outsource it. It's like, hey Google, hey YouTube, could you just turn down the volume on these troublemakers? They're messing with the narrative like COVID or Hunter's laptop or the fact that we had a president in cognitive decline for 4 years. And the platforms nod politely and they say, of course we can. Poof. Your video disappears in the algorithmic abyss. Now that's not free speech. That's not democracy. That's the Matrix with better PR. Remember the agents of the Matrix? Those soulless guys in suits who'd pop into anyone's body to enforce the rules? Mr. Anderson. Yeah, we have those too. They're called fact checkers, or worse, community guideline enforcement teams, the ones who determine if your content is safe. And here's how it works. You start to question something, election processes, pandemic policies, corruption in DC, and suddenly the agents show up. Your post gets flagged, your video gets demonetized, YouTube says, this content may not be suitable. Twitter, X, slaps a warning. Google drops you to page 6 of the search results. And that's not because you were wrong, it's because you were off script. And the Matrix cannot allow glitches. And who funds all of these fact checkers? Who decides what misinformation means? The same people who have a vested interest in keeping the illusion intact. Legacy media, the government, NGOs, which stands for non-government organizations, and the platforms themselves. The fox doesn't just guard the henhouse. He wrote the whole security manual and installed all the cameras. Now, Neo gets a choice. Red pill or blue pill. Harsh truth or comfortable lie. Most people, they'll take the blue pill every time because the lie is easier, it's safer, it's more familiar. In real life, the red pill is realizing that when CNN, Fox, MSNBC, which I think is called MS Now, or your curated social media feed tell you what's happening, It's not the whole truth. It's the truth that fits their agenda. Red pilling is realizing that YouTube will push late-night talk show clips and celebrity fluff to bury dissenting journalists who are actually reporting uncomfortable realities. It's realizing when the government pressures platforms to protect democracy, in quotation marks, what that really means is protecting the ruling party's narrative. And once you swallow that pill, you can't go back. You'll see the matrix everywhere. Every headline, every algorithm, every talking head smiling into a camera telling you what to believe. Here's where my people come in. Gen X. We grew up analog. We were the last generation that had to figure things out for ourselves without an algorithm spoon-feeding us the right answers. Sure, there were narratives being pushed back then too, but it was mostly the evening news and the newspapers. Advertisers weren't trying to steer the political ship. They just wanted to sell us cars and sodas and shoes and Bugle Boy jeans. Their only agenda was to make wheelbarrow loads of cash. Imagine that. So now, when we see the digital curtain pulled back, we're not shocked. We're a little pissed, but we're not shocked. And we're resistant because we remember what life looked like outside the system. Gen Z, Alpha, and Millennials for the most part, they have only ever known the matrix. Every time they log in, it's an algorithm. It's TikTok, it's Instagram, it's YouTube, deciding what they see, what they like, even sometimes what they think. That's their matrix. We had counterculture. They have curated content. We had free-range thought. They have feed-approved thought. And that's why Gen X is uniquely positioned to call this out. We remember what authenticity felt like, what it looked like before it got swallowed up by the machines. Morpheus had his ragtag crew dodging agents, freeing people one at a time. We have ours too. Independent podcasters, Substack writers, rogue journalists, small YouTube creators, when they're not being banned. These are real-world resistance fighters. Do they have the reach of CNN or Google? No, but credibility beats reach in the long run. Every person who wakes up spreads it. Every suppressed video that gets reposted elsewhere cracks the illusion. Every time someone says, wait, why did Google bury that story? That's another glitch in the matrix. The platforms all know it, which is why they keep doubling down on control. But here's the irony. The tighter they grip, the more obvious the illusion becomes. The matrix has one fatal flaw. It has to remain invisible. Once it's exposed, it collapses under its own weight. So where does that leave us? We're all faced with Neo's decision. Do we swallow the blue pill, keep consuming what the platform hands us, never questioning the narrative, stay comfortable? Or do we swallow the red pill, accept that legacy media, social media platforms, and the government are colluding to manage reality, and then take personal responsibility for seeking the truth outside the system? Now, I believe that's not a one-time choice. It's a daily choice. Every time you click, every time you watch, every time you choose who to trust, you're deciding which pill you're swallowing. The Matrix isn't science fiction anymore. It's not the future. It's here right now. The only question is whether you're going to admit it. Gen X knows the difference between real and fake. We've been cynical for a very long time. We've seen the illusion from both sides. And that makes us the real resistance. The last people standing outside the algorithm, pointing to the wire saying, look, this isn't reality. So do you want to stay in the feed, scrolling away in comfortable ignorance? Or do you want to wake up, even if the truth is ugly? Choose wisely. All right, well, that's going to do it for me. This has been Gen X Resistance. I am your host again, Paul Stevens. You can find the show on all major podcast platforms, and yes, even on YouTube. If you want to reach out, shoot me an email at genxresistance@gmail.com or drop a comment on YouTube. Until next time, stay awake, stay resistant, and most importantly, stay rad, my friends.